latest court.
You're watching News Channel 2 at sunrise with Gary Liberatore.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us here this morning. I'm Gary Liberatore.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2, meteorologist Eric Gage.
And a nice quiet morning out there this morning.
Quiet, a little chilly, a little breezy out there too. Things will change today as lake effect snow will develop in the North Country, sweep south throughout the day. That could cause some blowing snow. Typical travel issues in New York, at least for this time of year with lake effect. Not a blockbuster event, but enough to where, again, you want to exercise caution when driving this afternoon. Here's a look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 top of the radar. Where is that snow right now? Well, it's currently, again, in the North Country, and it's a little bit on the disorganized side. And there are several things we are factoring into this snowfall forecast for today. A couple of them being whether this band remains disorganized and scattered right here, or if it feeds off of Lake Huron and Lake Superior and strengthens into an isolated, stronger band. Our thoughts are right now it's expected to remain mainly scattered, but still with stronger wind gusts, it's enough to create some blowing snow on the roadways. Currently 34 degrees at Griffiths and Rome, however, 16-mile-per-hour winds don't make it feel like that. Down into the 20s with feels like temperatures. And so what we're tracking for today, again, lake effect snow north this morning. That band sweeps south during the day. But after today, we are tracking a mild and quiet stretch of weather. And so heading out the door today, grab those sunglasses. We could be seeing quiet weather south of the North Country this morning, but keep that snow brush handy before you head home from work today, as you could be brushing off maybe a little bit of snow off your car. But regardless today, highs only in the low 30s, warmer temperatures on the way. Details on that coming up. Back to you, Gary.
Eric, thanks. And don't forget the Storm Tracker 2 forecast is never more than 10 minutes away. New York's highest court.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired.
Good morning and welcome back. This might be the last time we'll see some yellows in our commute cast for a little bit. We do have some green, at least for this morning, and no issues expected for your travel, especially south of the North Country this morning. Maybe a few lake effect snow showers north, but for the most part, we're monitoring lake effect snow this evening as it sweeps south into the Mohawk Valley and eventually into the southern valleys. That could cause some reduced visibility, maybe some drifting snow. This is not going to be a blockbuster event by any means, but we're going to monitor the potential for downwind lake effect influence from Lake Huron and Lake Superior that could cause a band or two to strengthen on a very thin, maybe few mile stretch. I'll explain more about that coming up in just a minute. You can see the chance of snow when it's expected to arrive. You can see here in Utica, relatively quiet for the most part. Then these snow showers start to work their way south. The highest chance of seeing some snow showers in between 11 a.m. and 5 p.m. I'm thinking more closer to 3:30 p.m. Before it finally sweeps in the southern valleys. And behind that, we're looking at quiet weather. Maybe a few flurries early Thursday morning, but snow chances do decrease as we head into the rest of the work week. And you can see the snow on the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 top of the radar. That will sweep south as the daytime progresses. Gary?
Eric, thanks. President Biden and Israeli Prime
New York's most dependable weather team. Here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning. Welcome back. Happy Wednesday. We've got quiet weather on the horizon for the remainder of the work week, but first today, we got to deal with some lake effect snow. Let's take a live look at downtown Utica from our Nexus camera. We're looking at quiet weather this morning. Temperatures right above freezing in Utica, 33 degrees. Wind chills on the cooler side. Feels like the 20s right now. And that will be a similar story today. Bundle up. It's going to be breezy, it's going to be cool, and yes, doing lake effect snow. Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 top of the radar right now showing lake effect snow north of the Mohawk Valley, currently up near just north of Boonville, in between Boonville, Old Forge, a singular isolated band right here producing higher snowfall rates. Now, within our forecast today, here is our official snowfall forecast, 2 to 4 inches or more in this light blue area. Now, what I mean by more is we're more likely than not going to hit the low end of this forecast, depending on if these snow showers remain scattered. You can see here in the I-90 corridor, trace of 2 inches of additional snow. This blue could also sweep south into the highest elevation south of the Mohawk Valley. Now, what do I mean by us hitting the higher end of this total? Well, if the winds are perfect from Lake Huron and Lake Superior, that could create locally higher totals. But for right now, they appear to be more cellular and isolated. We're basically threading the needle. So what do I mean by that? We have Lake Superior way up here, Lake Huron, and you got to follow a direct line right down those lakes in order to form stronger lake effect snow bands here locally. So we'll monitor the exact wind positions. You can see not the entire stretch of this system is influencing lake effect here. You notice the winds are actually more westerly off of Lake Huron to the north. But if winds directly move down both Great Lakes, we could be talking about stronger lake effect snow bands and maybe a snow squall or two. So the most likely scenario with this today is we're talking about lake effect, scattered lake effect snow showers by this afternoon. It'll sweep south throughout the day, 3 to 3:30 p.m., maybe reduce visibility on I-90 corridor as that snow band sweeps south. And then by the evening, most of the Mohawk Valley is dry. The lake effect snow band is generally in the southern valleys. And then by tomorrow, maybe a brief push of a few flurries and clouds, but tomorrow afternoon, quiet and dry with temperatures in the 30s. So for today, lake effect snow, highs only in the low 30s. For tonight, chilly down to the teens. And our 7-day forecast, after today, it's looking relatively quiet. So again, even though we do have some snow showers today, for those of you who are snow lovers, again, it doesn't really stick around as you head into Friday and Saturday. Those temperatures not favorable for snowpack, and I haven't snowmobiled in at least a year or so, but I guarantee those who are itching to go out on the trails are probably wondering when the next big snow is coming.
Yeah, you'll let them know when it does.
Yep.
That's for sure. Eric, thanks. The time right now is 5:23. Still ahead on Sunrise.
You're watching News Channel 2 at Sunrise with Gary Liberatore.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us for this half hour. I'm Gary Liberatore.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2, meteorologist Eric Gage.
And boy, some other lakes involved in this lake effect, huh?
Yeah, and things have to go absolutely perfect in order for that to happen. So we are preparing for the worst, but of course, it's most likely not going to happen. But you always want to mention it just in case it does, because no one wants to be caught off guard. Regarding today, not looking to be anything serious, but still lake effect snow, typical lake effect snow issues with travel, reduced visibility, blowing snow, that sort. But it is currently in North Country this morning. A live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2, top of the radar. You can see it currently through portions of Lewis County into north central Herkimer County, south of Old Forge, north of Boonville. Now, this will begin to sweep south throughout the morning, heading into the afternoon. I'm thinking more closer to the I-90 corridor, probably between 3-ish, give or take an hour or two as that system continues to push south. Now, currently it's quiet with some clouds here and there, temperatures above freezing. However, a decent wind from the west-southwest. Feels a little chillier out there, 24 degrees, those feels like temperatures. What we're tracking, again, lake effect snow north this morning, sweeps south during the day today. But after today, we are tracking a mild and quiet stretch of weather heading into this weekend. So for today, in some cases, grab those sunglasses. You could be waking up to some sunshine this morning, but keep that snow brush handy in case you have to brush off your car for your evening commute. Regardless, temperatures today only reaching the low 30s with wind chills in the 20s, so definitely bundle up. Warmer temperatures and quiet weather, again, is on the horizon as you look ahead towards the next few days. Details on that, plus our snowfall forecast coming up. Back to you, Gary.
Eric, thanks. And don't forget, the Storm Tracker 2 forecast is never more than 10 minutes away. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky.
The Cooperstown Cam is brought to you by Utica National Insurance Group.
Good morning and welcome back. Well, toys are all gone. A bit sad. I miss some of my favorite toys here, but they are going to, I believe, thousands of local kids in need. So that's some good news right there. A look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar right now. Some lake effect snow showers taking place in the North Country. This will sweep south during the daytime today. My thoughts are into the I-90 corridor after noontime, maybe 3-ish, give or take an hour or two. Could cause reduced visibility, as with every typical lake effect event we see here in central New York. But we'll monitor the chance for the band to strengthen due to downwind lake effect influence. And a live look at those local temperatures this morning. Although it's similar to what we saw yesterday morning, it does feel a little cooler with that wind. 33 Westmoreland feels like temperatures or wind chills down into the 20s. 29 Richfield Springs, 31 Cooperstown, 27 degrees in Inlet. Cool weather today, cool weather tomorrow. A different story as you look ahead to the remainder of the work week. Friday and Saturday, highs in the 40s, continuing to Sunday and Monday. Gary?
State and local officials gathered on Tuesday to
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, happy Wednesday. It's a little breezy, a little cool out there this morning, but quiet aside from some areas heading to the north. That will change today as lake effect snow will start to sweep south throughout the day. Here's a live look at downtown Utica from our Nexus camera. Looking at quiet weather here locally, temperature 33 degrees, wind chills down into the 20s, so bundle up today. It's going to be a bit blustery out there. Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar showing lake effect snow off of Lake Ontario, currently producing snow showers up in the North Country. Now, for today, we are thinking 2 to 4 inches of accumulation in this light blue area right here, including portions of Boonville, central Herkimer County, and including also parts south of the Mohawk Valley right here, just in the highest elevations there as well. Now, we do have a plus sign here. Now, this is only if we get downstream lake effect influence from Lake Huron and Lake Superior, basically threading a needle. And what I mean by that is we have not only Lake Ontario that brings us lake effect, but the boundary layer, which all this occurs in, gets influenced not only by Lake Ontario, but also Lake Superior and Lake Huron. If the winds are exactly perfect, as you can see right here, this red line, that's when we start to get stronger lake effect snow bands here locally in central New York. It's why sometimes Tug Hill gets astronomical snowfall totals based off of that system. So behind the forecast, we're more likely than not to hit the low end of this. Higher totals only possible, again, if that setup occurs absolutely perfectly. And snow showers today are more likely to be scattered and cellular versus isolated and stronger. So on our Skycast for today, we can see the lake effect snow bands starting to form this morning. And as the daytime progresses, our models here, our in-house model, is showing more the snow more on the scattered side, not stronger and isolated, as you can see right here. As the afternoon continues on, 3-ish or so, this band sweeps south through the I-90 corridor, eventually into the southern valleys by later on this evening. Things will quiet down here locally as temperatures will plummet down into the low 20s to even as low as the teens. And then for tomorrow, a few flurries before things do dry out by tomorrow afternoon, highs in the mid-30s. So for today, again, highs in the low 30s, lake effect snow showers, breezy and windy conditions. Tonight, chilly, partly cloudy skies, lows down in the teens. Your 7-day forecast. After today, though, we're entering a pretty much quiet stretch of weather. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, highs, well, for Thursday in the 30s, but Friday, Saturday, Sunday in the 40s. And our next notable weather maker after today looks to be on Monday, but it mainly an all-rain event. So, so far, not looking very December or white Christmas-like.
Yeah, a little different to hear Lake Huron in our forecast, huh?
Oh, yes. Sometimes things line up just perfectly.
Yeah, Eric, thanks. Well, actor Andre Braugher has passed.
You're watching News Channel 2 at sunrise with Gary Liberatore.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us. I'm Gary Liberatore.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2, meteorologist Eric Gage.
And for the first time, I've heard that Lake Huron is playing a part in our lake effect snow. That is pretty wild.
Yeah, it happens sometimes. It happened, I believe, not the past snowfall event, lake effect snowfall event, but the one before. And we usually don't mention it too because it's typical with, lakes, with our events up in Tug Hill. But with today, it's not likely, but it's also non-zero, and so we want to mention it just in case it does happen. Now, right now, we're dealing with some lake effect snow in the North Country. This is on the lighter side, not too bad, but it's still some light snow taking place right now. You can see in the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. It is slowly sweeping across the North Country. It will eventually sweep south by this afternoon. Now, a little bit to the north, you can see a secondary snowfall band. These will combine in a few hours or so, and then again, that snow band will sweep south. Currently, it is 32 degrees, dropped a degree within the past hour. A little breezy there, too. Feels like 24 out with that wind chill. And what we're tracking today, again, lake effect snow north this morning. That snow band sweeps south during the day, could cause reduced visibility on the roadways, especially heading into the evening commute. After this, though, a quiet and mild stretch is in store for us after today. So, heading out the door, early on this morning, could need some sunglasses. Some sunshine will peek out, especially south of the North Country. However, a snow brush might be needed for your evening commute. Some snow might accumulate on the cars. But regardless, grab that jacket today. It will feel like the 20s with highs only in the low 30s. Warmer weather is on the way as we head into the remainder of the work week. Full details on that, plus our snowfall forecast coming up. Back to you, Gary.
Eric, thanks. And don't forget, the Storm Tracker 2 forecast is never more than 10 minutes away. New York's highest court has ordered
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired.
Welcome back. Taking a look at your morning and evening commute cast. Going to be probably the last time we'll see any impacts to your commute for the next few days into this coming weekend. Snow showers in the North Country this morning on the lighter side as a lake effect snow band sweeps south during the late morning, early afternoon. This could impact your evening commute between 3 and 6 p.m. depending on location. The main concern with this is going to be blowing snow, reduced visibility, the typical sort we get with lake effect, and maybe some accumulation on those roadways as you get in the higher elevations. We're going to be hovering right around freezing here in the Mohawk Valley all day today, so it'll be hard for that snow to accumulate in the lowest elevations. Our chance of snow outlook here in Utica, and most likely for the I-90 corridor in general, because these winds are from the west. We're seeing a jump in snowfall chances between roughly 1 and 5 p.m. That's where we're going to most likely see the snow here in the Mohawk Valley before snow chances decrease and become non-zero or become zero for the rest of the work week. And there's a lake effect snow on the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Will sweep south throughout the day. I'm timing it all out in detail in that full forecast coming up. Back to you, Gary.
Eric, thanks. President Biden and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu.
From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning and welcome back. After beautiful weather yesterday with some sunshine, things will change today. A quiet start with lake effect snow in the North Country sweeping south throughout the day. Now here's a live look at downtown Utica from our Nexus camera. Looking at quiet weather right now. In fact, could be seeing a pretty much clear sunrise here in the valley. Current temperature down a degree about an hour ago at 32 degrees. And a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar, where you can see that lake effect snow currently in the North Country right now. So far, looking at the conditions on some cameras as well as some reports up there, snow is on the flakes are on the smaller side. So I'm not seeing any true heavy snowfall going on right now, especially up there. And of course, this snow band will sweep south throughout the day. So How much snowfall are we talking about? Well, 2 to 4 inches of snowfall here in this light blue area. Now, we do have a plus sign here, and that is important because we're monitoring downwind lake effect influence from not only Lake Ontario, but also Lake Superior and Lake Huron. You can see with the lower elevations and the higher surface temperatures in the valley, it might be very hard for that snow to overall stick in the I-90 corridor, so we have trace 2 inches for us here in the valley. Now, what do I mean by downwind influence? Well, follow the red arrows right here. We got Lake Superior, Lake Huron, and eventually Lake Ontario. Now, lake effect works not only off of one lake, but other lakes downwind can also influence it. And you can see some downwind lake effect right here, also off of Lake Huron, actually more westerly, and eventually down here in Lake Ontario. I did research in this in college, and you can see right here, this the snowfall right here locally isn't that strong until you follow that wind and see how it starts to strengthen as winds follow that yellow line here locally. So what to expect? More forecasts are more likely to hit the low end of this. Higher totals only possible if the winds, again, do follow downwind from Huron to Superior. And snow showers today are likely to become more scattered than isolated. And so you can see in our skycast for today, scattered lake effect snow showers, maybe reduced visibility in the Mohawk Valley this afternoon, possibly by the early evening commute hours. But by 6, 7 p.m., that snow band sweeps south, and we're looking at clear skies here locally in the Mohawk Valley, with temperatures plummeting down into the lower 20s to the upper teens. And so for today, highs in the low 30s, lake effect snow showers, windy conditions tonight. Down into the teens with chilly weather. Your 7-day forecast, we're looking quiet heading into Thursday and Friday. Starting out in the 30s Thursday, 40s for Friday. Quiet weather continues for Saturday and Sunday with widespread rain arriving Monday. That could sweep out to the east outside of our area. Now, if today is your birthday, make it a great one, including my mom. Happy birthday.
You're watching News Channel 2 at sunrise with Gary Liberatore.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us for this half hour. I'm Gary Liberatore.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2, meteorologist Eric Gage.
And it does feel a little sad in here today. All the presents basically gone.
A little bit, yeah. I miss seeing all the toys behind us, but thankfully they are going to, of course, all the local kids who will definitely appreciate the generosity of all of you who donated those toys. I was watching the shows yesterday. I don't know if it's official. I think there were several thousand kids who will be getting these toys, and just, you know, there's no words to describe the generosity of people here.
Yeah, the Mohawk Valley comes through yet again.
Yes, definitely does. And so we'll still have some presents here there in the studio with some decorations, but again, those toys are now headed to those kids. Now, looking at the weather right now, the lake effect snow currently taking place in the North Country. Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar showing snow showers in the Old Forge region. At this point, looking at latest conditions based off the Mesnet camera network, we're just seeing lighter snow showers taking place. Not anything major at this point. Down a degree from an hour ago, 32 degrees, feels like 24. Lake effect snow this morning. Snow band sweeps south during the day. Quiet and mild stretch after today. So heading out the door this morning, again, starting out quiet, maybe grab that snow brush just in case for your evening commute as you head home from work, especially if you're working in higher elevations north of the Mohawk Valley. And today, high temperatures barely reaching the low 30s. Quiet again starting today, and quiet weather will return as we approach the next few days. Details on that, plus talking about our snowfall forecast coming up. Back to you, Gary.
Eric, thanks. And don't forget, the Storm Tracker 2 forecast is never more than 10 minutes away. Ukrainian President Volodymyr.
The Cooperstown Cam is brought to you by Utica National Insurance Group.
Welcome back. Lake effect snow will continue to arrive today. Starting out in the North Country, Mohawk Valley currently looking dry. In fact, if you look out your window, you'll probably see some sunshine out there. Regardless, this snow band will start to sweep south as the daytime progresses. I'm thinking most likely in the I-90 corridor at its strongest point between 3-4 p.m., give or take an hour or two. Now, temperatures this morning, although in the 30s in the Mohawk Valley, doesn't really feel like that. Wind chills, stronger winds make it feel a little cooler, with temperatures feeling like the 20s. Regardless, the actual temperatures in the 30s, 32 Westmoreland, 31 Little Falls, 27 up North Inlet, 30 Cooperstown, 28 in Richfield Springs. Now, we're looking at cooler weather for today with highs only in the low 30s. By Thursday, we're talking about highs also in the low 30s, but then we enter a warm stretch. Take a look at this right here. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Looking at high temperatures reaching the low to mid 40s. Quiet weather will stick around for the next few days after today for Thursday, Friday, most of Saturday and Sunday. Rain showers look to arrive as we approach next week on Monday. Gary?
Eric, thank you. State and local officials gathered on
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, happy Wednesday. Starting out quiet here in the Mohawk Valley and south, but that will change as lake effect snow sweeps south throughout the day. Here's a live look at Oneonta, a beautiful shot right here. Temperature is currently in the 20s in the southern valleys. Where is the snow right now? Well, across the Mesonet camera network, you can see snow falling at Old Forge, Osceola, and up in Woodgate. And on the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2, Doppler radar. It is currently again falling in the North Country, but notice the southward trend of this. This will start to push into northern Oneida County, central Herkimer County right here within the next few hours, and it might hover here for a little bit. I'm thinking it will not strengthen for the most part, but we can't rule it out as the daytime progresses based off of a few things in just a minute. So how much snow are we talking about? Well, 2 to 4 inches most likely in the light blue area here, including northern Oneida County, and sweeping south into the southern portion of Oneida County in the highest elevations down there. The valley with temperatures around freezing, might be hard for the snow to stick, trace 2 inches here locally. Now, we do have a plus sign right here. Now, the reason why there's a plus sign is because we could have locally higher totals if the snow band becomes stationary. And it all has to do with downwind convergence. So we have not only Lake Ontario we're dealing with, but also Lake Superior and Lake Huron. Now, these winds have to follow a similar path along these red lines right here. If they all converge on the same path, that means that the snow band down here will be stronger, as it is also getting fed by not only Lake Ontario, but also 2 other Great Lakes. And you can see right here, no lake effect until that wind direction starts to shift, and then lake effect starts to strengthen. So we'll monitor this today. It's not likely, but chances aren't zero, so we want to let you know about that. Forecast is more likely to hit on the low end for today. Again, higher totals only possible if those winds converge from Huron and Superior. And snow showers today are more likely to be scattered and cellular versus isolated and stronger, as you can see in our Skycast for today. Scattered lake effect snow showers this afternoon with temperatures hovering right around freezing, and heading into this evening, still looking at snow showers pushing south, maybe reduced visibility on the I-90 corridor. Accumulations most likely again north and south of the Mohawk Valley. This sweeps outside of the area by the overnight hours tonight, and then a quick sweep north of a few flurries and clouds by tomorrow morning before things do dry out for the remainder of the work week. So for today, highs in the low 30s, lake effect snow, windy conditions tonight, chilly down into the teens. And your 7-day forecast after today, quiet stretch of weather. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday warming up from the 30s into the mid 40s with maybe some rain showers possible heading into Monday. So we'll monitor this system for today, but again, as soon as we get snow, this December pattern is favoring milder temperatures.
And look at that bus stop forecast tomorrow morning. It is downright cold.
Yeah, very cold. Definitely want to bundle up tomorrow morning.
That's for sure. Eric, thank you. Well, actor Andre Braugher has
Now, you're watching News Channel 2 at 7 a.m. on CW 11 with Gary Liberatore.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us here on the CW11. I'm Gary Liberatore.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2, meteorologist Eric Gage.
And all that research you did down at SUNY Oneonta paid off today, as that forecast from Lake Huron is what you were focusing on, right?
Yeah, that's right. And it's one of those things where it's not likely, but we can't rule it out. And doing research there with lake effect for several years, events like this can happen where you get a bunch of not only Lake Ontario, but Lake Erie, or I should say Lake Huron, Lake Superior.
Wow.
They all converge in one wind stream, and that helps influence lake effect here locally.
Wow.
Now, for today, we're just dealing with some lake effect snow showers. Nothing major for the most part. We can see in the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar scattered snow showers in northern Oneida County, around the Tug Hill region in Lewis County, and of course in northern and central Herkimer County at this point. It is starting to sweep south right now. And again, at this point, nothing really impactful with this right now, but as Gary mentioned, we're just monitoring the potential for downwind lake influence to, again, influence the system for today. Current conditions, 32 degrees, with a mixture of clouds and sun. Here in the Utica area, a lot of sunshine. Temperatures feeling like the 20s with that wind chill. We're tracking for today, lake effect snow north this morning. That sweeps south this afternoon. We're also tracking after this, though, a quiet and mild stretch. And so for today, grab those sunglasses as you head out the door this morning. However, keep that snow brush handy if you head back from work, especially in those higher elevations where snow might accumulate. It might be tough here in the Mohawk Valley with those temperatures right around freezing. And so, again, for today, highs right around freezing in the low 30s. Lake effect snow showers today. Chilly tonight, down into the teens, and then more mild weather is on its way to wrap up the work week. Details on that coming up. Back to you, Gary.
Eric, thanks. And don't forget, the Storm Tracker 2 forecast is never more than 10 minutes away. New York's highest court.
From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning. Welcome back. A quiet start to the day today in the Mohawk Valley in south. A different story in the North Country as a few snow showers are taking place from lake effect. Here's a live view of Oneonta. Current temperature in the City of the Hills, 27 degrees with a nice sunrise right there. Again, quiet to start. However, different story heading to the north. Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar showing lake effect snow starting to sweep south. And so far, forecast is panning out right now. The snow showers are a bit more scattered and less isolated. And so there is not a very strong band taking place. No extremely high totals going on right now, but enough to produce some scattered snow showers currently in northern Oneida County. Boonville should start to see some heavier snowfall within the next few minutes or so. How much snowfall are we talking about for today? Well, 2 to 4 inches in this light blue area right here. It might be hard for some of the snow to stick in the lower elevations in the southern valleys as those temperatures are right around freezing. There is a plus sign here though, because things could change at the snap of a finger as we're talking about not only Lake Ontario, but on top of that, Lake Huron and Lake Superior. These winds have to follow a perfect line along these red arrows right here. So far they haven't, but you can see else they're getting very, very close. And if we get downwind lake effect influence, not only from Superior, but also Huron and eventually Ontario, this could fire up a stronger lake effect snow band. So you can see right here, immediate influence. So you can see the wind direction shift right here. Then snow starts to fall more heavily just off of the Lake Ontario region to the west. And so on our skycast for today, again, lake effect snow taking place in the North Country, northern Oneida County, central Herkimer County. Scattered lake effect snow showers this afternoon, monitoring potential for a snow squall, but for the most part, expect just a few blustery conditions, reduced visibility, and maybe some accumulation on those roadways in higher elevations. Then that system departs to the south, things quiet down, cool down too. Overnight lows falling into the teens. Then a few flurries possible tomorrow morning with additional cloud cover before sunshine arrives by tomorrow afternoon. So for today, Highs in the low 30s, lake effect snow showers, windy conditions tonight. Chilly down into the teens, possibly the coldest night of the year. 7-day forecast, Thursday and Friday looking quiet. In Saturday and Sunday, mild too, temperatures in the 40s by this coming weekend.
You're watching News Channel 2 at noon with Gary Liberator.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us. The Lake Effect Snow Machine is on today, and some of that snow is just making its way to the Mohawk Valley. Meteorologist Eric Gage is tracking the system in the Weather Center. Good afternoon to you, Eric.
Good afternoon, Gary. Yes, we're talking about lake effect snow, and some areas seeing a good amount. Not a whole lot has accumulated so far. As a matter of fact, I want to take a quick look with conditions, at least. Taking a look at downtown Utica right now. The Mohawk Valley is above freezing, 33 degrees. So if it does start to snow again, it was snowing a little short while ago. It's going to take a little bit for it to accumulate with these above freezing temperatures. Here's a look at some road conditions. Starting out in the top left corner, Whitesboro at Clinton Street, New York 69. Clear roads there. Looking at the arterial on the top right corner, still looking clear. Heading to Genesee Street, facing Utica on the bottom left corner, still no bad conditions on roads there. And finally, bottom right corner, Route 20 and Route 8 intersection is looking quiet. However, we can see scattered lake effect snow showers taking place right now. We're monitoring where the heaviest snowfall bands are setting up and when this will eventually push south into the rest of central New York. And so for today, again, lake effect snow showers continuing on. In a few minutes, I'll be going in more detail about where that band is going and the latest snowfall forecast coming up. Back to you, Gary.
Eric, thanks. And in this chilly weather, the
WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
A tale of two worlds. You saw on the Cavie Tower camera some lake effect snow taking place here and there with cloudy skies. If you live in Oneonta, well, a different story. Sunshine, and you'll probably not see any impacts of lake effect until after sunset. So overall, a pretty quiet day for those of you in the southern portion of Otsego and Chenango County. Current temperature in Oneonta, 30 degrees. Let's take a look across central New York. Again, we're seeing some sunshine here in the southern valleys right now, but as you look north to Woodgate, Camden had a pretty good snowfall rates earlier on this morning, and now it's entering Woodgate, Colebrook, and most of areas north of the Mohawk Valley. And those temperatures playing a little bit of a key role. Above freezing for a lot of the areas on the I-90 corridor, 33 degrees in Whitesboro, 34 Westmoreland, even warmer in Lowville, but as you head to Big Moose in Herkimer County, 24 degrees. Southern valleys, pretty balmy in Sherburne, 38 degrees with some sunshine out there as well. And as you head down 98, 30 degrees Oneonta, 34 degrees in Unadilla. So here's the lake effect snow band right now, and we're monitoring this minute by minute because we got to check out the behavior of this. If it starts to isolate, if it remains scattered right now, based off of the common trend, it looks like the band is scattering, which is good news if we don't want to see isolated areas seeing more than 4 inches of snow. But as it's scattering, we'll be seeing scattered lake effect snow showers throughout the day. Barely any accumulations here in the I-90 corridor between Utica, St. Johnsville, Little Falls. The highest accumulations, in my opinion, will be north of Rome, in between Camden, right around the Lee area. You can see the 2 to 4 inch snowfall range right here. Isolated locations will get higher totals. As a matter of fact, some places, in fact, up near Woodgate, already saw about 2 or 3 inches of snowfall already. So don't be surprised if some of those totals are higher. This will eventually sweep south, and some areas south of the Mohawk Valley in the higher elevations could also see those isolated higher totals. But the general idea for a lot of the area in the blue highlighted region right here is 2 to 4 inches, trace to 2 as you head farther to the east. And as you've been monitoring since this morning, not just Lake Ontario, but multiple Great Lakes influencing this event right here. You can see a conveyor belt of lake effect snow going from Lake Superior all the way down into our area, and that is strengthening some of that lake effect. You can see as the winds shift more downwind, you can see more dark blues popping up here on the radar and satellite. So for right now, still some scattered lake effect snow showers. Watch out for some slippery spots in areas that are seeing higher snowfall rates. And of course, with any lake effect snowfall event, just watch out for sudden, rapidly changing conditions on the roadways. This will sweep south, and then by tonight, things will quiet down and cool down into the teens with clear skies, maybe a good conditions to see the meteor shower tonight. More on that in just a minute. For tonight, down into the well, today, highs in the low 30s. Tonight, down into the teens. Chilly conditions, your 7-day forecast. After today, weather's looking pretty much quiet. Thursday and Friday, temperatures in the 30s Thursday, 40s Friday, but again, sunshine. And for right now, this coming weekend, also looking quiet, but not very December-like. 40s with maybe some sunshine as well.
Another warm weekend ahead.
Another warm one.
That's for sure. Eric, thanks. Well, 4 months and counting. Welcome back. We begin this half hour with the weather, and that lake effect snow that you were talking about this morning has arrived, right?
Yeah, that's right. I want to emphasize the saying that usually people in New York say, us here locally, if you don't like the weather, wait 5 minutes in New York State. This is what's going on right now. You can see behind us road conditions from across some parts of Oneida County. This one out near Clinton. This is Route 20, Route 8, and of course the arterial. But you're seeing some sunshine as well in that corner right there. It was snowing about a few hours ago. It's going to snow again. It might show some sunshine again. So of course, wait 5 minutes, the weather will change. That's what's going on with lake effect right now. Let's take a look again at those conditions. And as you turn our attention to the North Country, well, not necessarily North Country, but heading to the north, Coldbrook, just outside the Adirondacks, rapidly changing conditions are possible. You can see heavier snowfall falling. Some of it is accumulating, but for the most part, not too bad. There are some reports of good snowfall rates happening up near Boonville, West Leyden right now. That dark blue indicating that as well. Now, the behavior of this system is turning more scattered, what we originally thought this morning and even yesterday. Scattered lake effect snow showers. Some locations could see locally higher totals. After this event is all over, there's a chance to check out the meteor shower tonight after midnight. The lake effect bands move south and skies will clear out, but definitely bundle up as those temperatures do plummet overnight tonight. And so for today, again, lake effect snow, temperatures warming up into the low to even mid 30s with some of those areas seeing some sunshine. Again, we're tracking the remainder of this lake effect snow as it continues to push south throughout the day. In detail, that full forecast coming up. Back to you, Gary.
Eric, thanks. Our top story locally today, quite a
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
As the afternoon progresses, watch out for rapidly changing weather conditions, as with most lake effect events here in central New York. Looking at local conditions across central New York on the New York Mesonet camera network, you can see sunshine in Westmoreland. However, as you head up into central northern, even northern Oneida County, even as far west as Camden, lots of snow, reduced visibility, still a good amount of snow in Woodgate and Coldbrook heading to Herkimer County, and of course sunshine and a few clouds mixing in the southern valleys. Those temperatures in the valley have raised pretty dramatically with that sunshine, down or up into the mid 30s here in Westmoreland, 36 degrees, 34 Whitesboro, even above freezing up in Lowville. So with these warmer temperatures, at every degree it gets warmer, it gets harder and harder for lake effect snow to accumulate on the ground. So if the sun continues to shine and the roads warm up, that's good news. If that lake effect band sweeps south, it means that the roads will remain clear for longer. Southern valleys, temperatures all across between the 20s and 30s. 36 Sherburne, 29 Skenevis, 30 degrees in Oneonta. Here's a look at the radar right now. Scattered lake effect snow showers, some higher snowfall rates in this dark blue right here. Reports of heavier snowfall up near Boonville, West Leyden. My thoughts are the highest snowfall totals will be located in northern Oneida County, and I want to emphasize northern Oneida County, at least for us here, includes areas north of Rome, between Rome, Boonville, Camden, this area right here. Now, we're also looking at the development of this snow band, and so far it's behaving more scattered and less isolated, but still, again, higher snowfall rates are possible within this snow band. Now, looking ahead to the rest of the evening, we're also looking downwind. How is the behavior of the lakes, Lake Huron, Lake Superior influencing this? Well, follow this red line. This is the path of where the heavier snowfall band will develop within the next few hours. It'll pass through the Mohawk Valley and set up again south of the Mohawk Valley. So no real changes to our snowfall forecast right now. 2 to 4 inches of snow with isolated areas seeing a little more. So I have that plus sign right there. And again, I still think the highest chance of that will be in northern Oneida County, and then eventually as the band sets up south in some of this area in the light blue south of the Mohawk Valley. With the warmer temperatures, it's going to be harder for the I-90 corridor to see any of that snow really stick. And again, downwind influence from not only Lake Huron, Lake Superior, and Lake Ontario are what's causing this snow event right now. So, timing it out, scattered snow showers right now, sweeping south this afternoon, setting up once more south of the Mohawk Valley, and then after that, that snow band finally exits our area. Some peaks of clear skies possible in the overnight hours, although it will be chilly with temperatures down into the teens. And so for today, highs in the mid-30s, lake effect snow, windy conditions tonight down into the teens, chilly weather. And your 7-day forecast, that doesn't last too long as we head into the next few days. Sunshine Thursday, Friday. Warmer Friday, though, and this weekend is still looking quiet with a mixture of sun and clouds. Highs in the low to mid-40s.
Tonight is going to be downright cold.
Ooh, a little chilly.
Yeah. Eric, thanks. Stay with us. More news is up.
Just Bill Curtis tracking some lake effect right now.
Yeah, finally feeling like a December day here in central New York. We are tracking that band of snow as it continues to drop south. It is impacting visibility, road conditions, and higher elevations. And it is getting colder out there. It's all part of a cold front. The band continues to drop into the southern valleys along the Route 20 corridor out towards Cooperstown and Milford. Again, expect changing weather conditions, rapidly changing conditions across southern Otsego and Shenango counties over the next hour or so. The snow's just about done. We have a few lingering pockets of snow showers here and there north of the Mohawk Valley, but conditions will dry out as we head into tonight. Not much snow as expected across the Mohawk Valley, but the North Country got more, between about 6 to 7 inches in several areas. The highest report so far, Lee Center, that was on a higher elevation of 9.5 inches. That measurement taken by Dan. Current conditions, 29 degrees, a west wind at 12 miles an hour. This evening, temperatures are going to gradually fall. Skies will clear out. Watch out for some icy surfaces developing over the next few hours, too. Tracking a cold night tonight, but some warmer weather ahead. Look at your forecasts coming out. Jason, back to you.
Bill, thank you. The U.S. Supreme Court is...
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. We're continuing to track lake effect snow as it drops south into the southern valleys. Let's take a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. The band of snow that was across the Mohawk Valley has moved to the south, and we're seeing poor visibility. In fact, in some cases, some brief whiteouts from time to time across the southern part of Madison and central Otsego County. In fact, let's take a live look in Cooperstown from our Utica National Tower camera. And you can see the roads are snow covered. So a few slippery spots. Overall accumulations in and south of the Mohawk Valley on the lighter side. Most areas picking up 1 inch or less, but it's a very different story to the north. Several inches of Lake effect snow has fallen across northern Oneida County from earlier this morning through early this afternoon. With melting snow, this is a reminder that we're in that time of year where black ice is very common. This is going to be a classic setup tonight with melting snow on untreated surfaces. They'll very likely turn very slippery tonight as temperatures drop into the teens. So ice is possible through first thing tomorrow morning before temperatures climb above freezing tomorrow afternoon. Live look at downtown Utica, again, looking at just a light dusting of snow on the ground. With skies clearing out tonight, it's also worth mentioning there is a pretty spectacular meteor shower taking place, the Geminids. Usually we don't talk about this time of the year because it's so hard to get clear skies. Well, tonight could be one of those nights. I'm expecting overcast conditions to become clear as we head towards midnight. You're going to want to look up, look for the constellation Gemini. Around midnight, it's nearly directly overhead. As we look at the big picture, lake effect snow today is moving to the south as winds turn northerly. We've got high pressure building in. It's going to be cold tonight. A lot of places in the teens and low 20s, mostly clear skies. Partly sunny skies tomorrow. We're looking at temperatures climbing into the low 30s tomorrow night. The weather looks pretty quiet. Friday, return to some sunshine. Friday looks warmer with high temperatures climbing into the low to mid 40s. Tonight, partly cloudy skies and cold, a low of 18. Again, watch out for some slippery spots. Tomorrow, partly sunny skies and a pleasant day with high temperatures in the mid 30s. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. Friday, partly sunny skies, 45. It's mild and the weather's pretty quiet for the next several days. Mostly cloudy skies on Saturday and Sunday. The next weather system looks like a nor'easter that is going to produce rain here in central New York. Temperatures in the mid 40s, and we do see some colder weather return by Tuesday and Wednesday. But the snow that's been falling, and I know the North Country has been really wanting it for people that enjoy winter recreation, it doesn't look good for them.
Sticking around.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Bill. The CDC is tracking snowfall totals.
Yes, so we've been keeping track of Utica's season snowfall, and with 1 inch today, it's now up to 5.9 inches. Days like today, not common enough in central New York this winter. We usually see a lot more snow by now. We're running a snowfall departure of 10 inches, but these events do add up as we do get them. The heaviest snowfall taking place north of the Mohawk Valley. We've seen totals over 6 to 8 inches across northern Oneida County and southern Lewis County. A live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Lake effect snow is dropping south, and it does come to an end as we head into tonight. Watch out for some slippery roads if you're going to be taking the dog out for a walk. Tonight's featured dog is Rosie from Utica. This is brought to you by Nye Automotive Group. We're tracking some cold conditions tonight, along with some warmer weather ahead. A look at the forecast coming up. Jason Kristen, back over to you.
We're both here.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. We're continuing to track lake effect snow as it drops south across the southern valleys this evening. A burst of snow, poor visibility, and a few slippery spots on secondary roads expected as we head into the next couple of hours across central and southern Otsego County. Again, the biggest issue with this is the wind and the very changeable weather conditions. You go from clear skies to whiteout conditions in less than half an hour. This band is going to continue to drop southward. It also means that the snow showers that we are seeing that are still left over across the Mohawk Valley will be coming to an end as we head into this evening. The wind direction is changing into the north, and cold air is coming in. The combination of snow melting plus these cold temperatures tonight will lead to something that's called black ice. And it's called black ice because it's not easily seen. It happens on driveways, parking lots, sidewalks. Untreated surfaces are expected to turn slippery tonight, and that continues through tomorrow morning. So just be careful if you're heading out with, again, the potential of some icy surfaces. Live look in downtown Utica, 28 degrees is the current temperature and falling. We'll get some breaks of sunshine over the next couple of days, especially tomorrow and Friday before the clouds generally return. heading into the weekend. With clear skies tonight, it's going to be a cold one, but you should catch a few shooting stars. We have the annual Geminid meteor shower peaking tonight after midnight. You're going to want to look for constellation Gemini, which around midnight is directly overhead. Sky conditions are expected to cooperate for a change. It's very hard to watch this particular meteor shower because of the time of the year that we're in. It's one of the cloudiest times. Whitesboro, a ½ inch of snow. Clinton, 1 inch of snow, but West Lyon picking up 8 inches today. The parts of northern United County did get several inches, but again, that was the exception. Norway, 29 degrees. Across Southern Valleys, Milford, 28, and Morris checking in with 33. As we look at the radar satellite image, again, lake effect snow continues to move to the south. We've got high pressure building in. Skies will be clearing out tonight. It's a cold one. A lot of places fall into the teens. I wouldn't be surprised if areas to the north see single digits. That fresh snowpack keeps things cooler at night, especially when skies are clear. Tomorrow, overcast skies give way to sunshine. It should be a pretty nice day. Temperatures climb into the 30s. Partly cloudy skies tomorrow night. The weather on Friday does look warmer. A southwest wind kicks in, and that's going to help temperatures climb into the 40s. Tonight, partly cloudy, a low of 18. Tomorrow, partly sunny skies, pleasant temperatures in the low 30s. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. The weather remains quiet heading into the weekend. Temperatures climb into the 40s, so the areas that did pick up snowfall, that snow will be melting. Widespread rain on Monday, 46. Cooler weather with sunshine looking ahead to next Tuesday and Wednesday. We'll be right back.
The forecast at 6, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Karnes.
We're continuing to track a band of lake effect snow that is dropping south of the Mohawk Valley, impacting Otsego, Shenango, Madison County. Our biggest concern this afternoon as that band has been moving, the poor visibility. And there are a few slippery spots, especially in areas that are seeing some of that blowing and drifting snow. Norwich, Sherburne, again, some localized heavier snow. West Winfield. The snow is generally done north of the Mohawk Valley. There are still a few lingering snow showers, but the impact is going to be a lot less than what we saw earlier today. Accumulations from the valley and point south, the Mohawk Valley and point south, will be less than 2 inches. Already picking up an inch in Utica, Chadwick's an inch, but you go north, there were several more inches of snow, 6 to 8 inches. To Bend, Westernville, Lee Center, 9.5 inches, that measurement from Dan. Cloudy skies at Griffiths and Roma, current temperature of 30. Watch out for some patchy black ice tonight as temperatures fall below freezing. It's going to be a cold night tonight, but we are tracking some warmer weather ahead and a lot more melting snow. We'll look at the forecast coming up. Jason, back to you.
Bill, thank you. From this day forward, Utica.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Karnes.
Good evening. We're continuing to track lake effect snow as it's working south, moving into the southern valleys this evening. Expect a burst of snow and a drop in visibility, a few slippery spots on the roads to be had. We're not expecting much accumulation from here on out. The band of snow continues to move into southern Otsego, northern Shenango, and Madison counties. There's a few lingering snow showers in the Mohawk Valley, but these will be coming to an end shortly. Again, the biggest concern tonight as this lake effect snow comes to an end is black ice. Again, temperatures falling in an environment very close to freezing. Some of that snow has melted on surfaces. They could turn slippery tonight. Driveways, sidewalks, parking lots. Just be aware of that if you're going to be heading out tonight or early tomorrow. That ice will stick around through the morning time before it starts to melt as temperatures climb above freezing. Live look in downtown Utica, some light snow, 29 degrees. It's going to be a cold one tonight. Skies do clear out, and that should allow for us to watch the Geminid meteor shower. It peaks between 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. tonight. We could be talking about over 100 meteors per hour if you're in a really dark place away from city lights and you're looking to the eastern sky, but mainly for the constellation Gemini, if you know how to locate that. Either that or just look close to directly up or into the eastern sky. Again, weather conditions tonight favorable for that. It's not something we get to talk about very much because we are usually dealing with clouds. Not tonight. Whitesboro, half an inch of snow, an inch of snow in Clinton, 8 inches of snow in West Leiden today. Norway, 29 degrees. Across the Southern Valleys, Westford, 28, Paynes Hollow, 26, Richfield with 27. High pressure builds in, and that's going to help put an end to lake effect snow. Winds turn into the north tonight. It's cold. Temperatures fall into the teens. The outlying spots, especially the Adirondacks, will see single digits. Expecting some sunshine tomorrow, mixed in with a few clouds. A pleasant day, temperatures in the low 30s. We're dry tomorrow night. We're dry on Friday. Friday looks warmer. A southwest wind, partly sunny skies, temperatures climb into the 40s. Tonight, partly cloudy, cold, down to 18. Snow comes to an end over the next couple of hours. Partly sunny skies tomorrow, 34 for the high. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. Pretty quiet stretch of weather here heading into the weekend. Temperatures climb into the 40s, so places that did see several inches of snow, that snow is going to melt. Monday, widespread rain, 46. Colder temperatures into the 30s with partly sunny skies Tuesday and Wednesday. We'll be right back.
The forecast tonight, we bring in Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis, checking out some of the snowfall totals. Those squalls, hey, their visibility was pretty low during a few of them this afternoon.
Yeah, when they came in, they came in with a loud announcement.
Yeah.
They didn't last very long. We only had about an inch or two in the Mohawk Valley, actually mostly 1 inch reports from Chadwick to Utica to Paris. But you go north, that band lasted longer, and there were several inches of snow from this taking place across northern Oneida County. As we look ahead, our focus tonight, black ice. Seeing some of that snow melt. Temperatures right around freezing when that snow happened. And now that we're getting cold tonight, untreated surfaces could be slick, so just be careful. Again, talking about the possibility of icy surfaces through tomorrow morning. Live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Skies are clearing out. The snow coming to an end locally. It's cold out there. Down to 15 at Griffiths and Rome. Rome is the outlier. A lot of places are not quite that cold. I think most of us will get down into the teens tonight, partly cloudy skies. We're tracking some warmer weather as we look ahead. Look at the forecasts coming up. Jason, back to you.
Bill, thank you. New tonight, voters in the
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. We're tracking clear skies, cold conditions, lake effect snow to the south and west of central New York, and that's where it's going to stay tonight. Live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Clear skies means we have a great view of the Geminid meteor shower. We don't get to talk about this too much because whenever this does happen this time of the year, it's almost always cloudy, but we've got a rare clear night to be able to enjoy this. And it is a very active meteor shower. They're in perfect conditions, could be as much as 100 meteors per hour. We've already had several folks see shooting stars so far tonight. So it is worth going out and checking. But if you are going out, just be careful because there's patchy black ice that has formed on untreated surfaces. The combination of snow melt and cold temperatures allowing that snow melt to refreeze. Downtown Utica, 22 degrees. 1 inch of snow today has put Utica's season total to 5.9 inches. We're running behind by about 10 inches on the season compared to average. Radar and satellite image shows high pressure will be building in as we head into tomorrow. Skies, again, generally clear tonight. Cold, overnight lows in the teens. Tomorrow, winds turn into the southwest. It's going to drag lake effect clouds across our area. Temperatures look to climb into the 30s. Tomorrow night, partly cloudy skies. Not quite as cold as tonight. Overnight lows drop down into the 20s. Friday looks like a nice day. A southwest wind that should allow for high temperatures to climb into the 40s under partly sunny skies. Tonight, cold, partly cloudy, down to 18 degrees. Again, that meteor shower taking place tonight. Anytime between now and about 2 o'clock in the morning, the best time to view it. Tomorrow, partly sunny skies, temperatures in the mid-30s. Again, watch out for some icy spots through the morning. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast, 45 on Friday. The weekend looks Mild for December. Temperatures in the 40s, mostly cloudy Saturday and Sunday. Rain Monday. Some colder weather returns Tuesday and Wednesday.
We'll take the sunshine, though. It's been a while.
It is nice to see the sun this time of the year.
All right, thanks, Bill. Coming up